Good morning, everyone. We're going to give things a few minutes here for some people to join. Let me know if you have any issues in the comments. Feel free to tag any friends. Let me know if you enjoy our class this morning. As a quick reminder, we have more classes today, streaming live at 9, 12:30, 4, and 6 this evening. I hope your shelter in place is going well. Everybody stay safe and healthy out there. Good morning, everyone. I'm David. I'm going to be teaching a live stream yoga this morning for the space. We're going to begin this morning in a child's pose. So if you'll find yourself on your mat, knees either together, feet untucked, sitting back. If you'd like a extended child's pose, you can bring your knees out to the edges of your mat. Maybe walk the hands forward as you fold in, softening into your child's pose. Traditional child's pose says the hands are back by the feet, palms face up. In whatever variation you choose to take this morning, let it serve you. As you soften into your child's pose, begin to focus on the breath, inhalation and exhalation, finding a smooth, even texture to the breath. Allowing each breath to fill your lungs, fill the spaces between the ribs, stretching and expanding the torso as it fills the intercostal spaces. Begin to cultivate a symmetry between your inhalations and your exhalations. Finding an evenness in both duration and quality. We'll be here for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Grounding into the hands through the circumference of the palms, out through each finger, extending the hands overhead as you roll forward onto the knees, coming up into a tabletop position, extending through the spine from the tip of the tailbone to the crown of the head. Find that extension, that elongation. On your next inhalation, begin to drop the belly as the hips rotate forward, the shoulders rotate up as the crown of the head comes to face the ceiling. On your exhalation, articulate through, tracing out a hollowing cat shape. Begin cycling through to the rhythm of your breath. So we wake up the spine, begin to get the juices flowing, getting movement throughout the core. Go ahead and do 5 or 6 more cycles here. Once again, moving to the rhythm of your breath. When you're finished with that, let's meet back in tabletop position. As we begin to tuck the toes, maybe walking the palms an inch or 2 forward, grounding into the circumference of the palm, out through the base of each finger, through the fingertips. As we press into the balls of the feet, knees and hips, rise up and back for our first downward dog of the morning. Maybe beginning to pedal out the feet, swaying the hips side to side as you find some space in the calf, in the back of the knee, in the hamstring. Taking a few breaths here as you cycle your feet in your down dog. Beginning to find some stillness as you settle in. Being strong and straight in the legs and arms. Putting a slight rotation, internal rotation into the elbows as you soften the shoulders away from the ears, settling into your down dog. Take just a moment here. Beginning to roll up onto the balls of the feet, articulate the spine through like a wave crashing on the shore. As you come up through high plank, grounding into the palms, pressing the earth away. As you press the back of the heart up to the sky. Staying here for a few breaths as we begin to build some heat in the core. For 2. For 3. Begin to roll the hips up and back, coming back through your down dog. Grounding into the right foot. Begin to lift the left up and back. Allowing that heel to search for its apex. When you're there, maybe finding a half an inch more. Pointing into the ball of the foot, bending into the knee. As that knee comes forward to the left elbow. Pausing briefly here, and up and back. Knee forward to the left elbow, and up and back. As the knee comes forward, maybe this time to the nose, and up and back. One more time, knee forward, this time stepping between the palms as we trace out a low lunge, finding that extension through the back, rotating the hips to face the earth, grounding maybe into blocks or into your mat, shifting the weight forward into the left foot, stepping to the front of the mat into forward fold, Uttanasana. With each breath, lift slightly out of asana. With each exhalation, soften in, letting gravity do its work to open up the small of the back into the hips and hamstrings. Rise halfway, Ardha Uttanasana, palms to the shins, back straight and strong, extending parallel to the earth. On your next exhalation, soften back in. Put a slight bend into the knees as you begin to roll up, one vertebrae at a time. Starting in the low lumbar, rolling up into the thoracic. As the ribs and chest rise and move forward, the shoulders settle, coming down as you roll up into the cervical spine. Crown of the head centering over the sit bones, over the heels. Rise the hands, palms come together, saluting the sun. Thumbs to the back of the heart. Rise once more. Hands through heart center. Releasing the hands to the sides. On your next exhalation, begin to roll down, starting chin to chest, rolling down through the thoracic, down into the lumbar, putting that slight bend back into the knees as we roll down through forward fold. Maybe grounding the palms back onto the mat, back onto blocks. wherever you're at, grounding firmly into the mat with the palms, stepping back with the left, and then the right, coming through high plank, pressing the earth away, pressing the back of the heart to the sky, finding that extension from the tip of the tailbone to the crown of the skull. Rising hips up and back for down dog. Grounding this time into the left foot. Begin to rise the right, up and back. Heel searching for its apex. As we keep the hips square with the mat. Maybe finding one more inch of lift in that heel. Pointing into the ball of the foot. Bringing that right knee to right elbow. Pausing briefly here. And up and back. Once again, knee to right elbow. Pausing briefly here. And up and back. Knee forward once more. This time to nose. And up and back. Knee comes forward again, this time stepping through between the palms. Maybe grounding hands on blocks or on the mat as we soften into our forward lunge. Our low lunge, settling into the hips, opening through the groin. As we send our breath down the torso, down to any tension or anxiety that we feel. Maybe in the hips, maybe in the low back. Breathing. Shifting our weight forward into that right foot. Stepping forward. Into forward fold. Uttanasana. Rising halfway. Ardha Uttanasana. Hands to the shins. Straight. Extended spine. Forward fold. Maybe this time grabbing elbow to elbow. As you soften in, allowing gravity to do its work. Maybe straightening the right leg. And then the left. Shifting hips side to side. Let the arms begin to dangle down to the earth, placing that slight bend into the knees as we begin to roll up, one vertebrae at a time. Finding that extension through the spine from the tip of the tailbone to the crown of the skull. Grounding firmly into all four corners of the feet. Extending the head and the crown of the skull to the sky. Raise your hands up and overhead, saluting the sun. Thumbs to the back of the heart. Rising once more. Hands through heart center. Releasing to the sides. Tucking chin to chest as we begin to roll back down. Placing a bend into the knees as we come down through forward fold. Grounding the palms into the mat. Stepping back this time with the right foot and the left. Pausing here in high plank for just a couple of breaths. For 2. And 1. Shifting hips up and back. Down dog. Bending into the knees. Landing. Untucking the toes. Sitting back into child's pose. Maybe finding more space as you close down your eyes, centering on your breath. Begin to roll up through the spine, stacking hips over heels as we come up through Virasana, bringing the arms out to a T. Begin small circles with the fingertips as we wake up the shoulders and arms, allowing those circles to grow concentrically as you find more space in the shoulder. Coming back to a T, begin circling the other way. Once again, growing with each concentric circle. Coming back out to a T. Turning the left palm to face the sky as it rises up and behind the heart. Grounding there, the right palm comes across, clasping the left elbow. Maybe helping open into that shoulder just a bit more. As you send your breath into the left shoulder, as it opens and softens. Releasing the arms back out to a T. Pausing here for a breath. Rotating the right palm this time to face the sky as it rises up and back behind the heart. Left palm follows suit, finding the right elbow. Maybe helping that right elbow a little more as the hand comes down the back of the heart. For 2. And 1. Releasing the arms back out to a T. Go ahead and let them come down by your sides as you shift forward on your knees. Bringing your knees out to mat width. Sitting back onto the heels once more. Arms coming back out to a T. Go ahead and bend the right wrist in, bringing the back of the wrist into the cleft of the thigh and the hip. As that right elbow makes its way just inside the right knee, looking for that vertical stacking from shoulder to elbow. Maybe staying here. Maybe this is enough for you, for your practice. If you're looking for a little bit more, maybe allowing that left elbow to come down towards the mat as that left hand makes its way towards the right knee. Sending that breath into the shoulder. Softening there. Releasing any tension or anxiety through the back. Through the neck. For 3. For 2. For 1. If the left hand is at the right knee, go ahead and allow it to come back underneath the shoulder as you press into the mat, rising once again, up, centering the spine over the sit bones, arms coming back out to a T. Take a breath here, then begin to bend the left wrist in. Once again, the back of that wrist, the back of the hand, coming into the cleft of the hip and the thigh. As the elbow makes its way just inside the left knee. Maybe this is as far as you go. Looking for that vertical stacking once again from elbow to shoulder. Sending your breath to any anxiety that you feel in your body as you soften into asana. Maybe taking things a little further as the right elbow makes its way towards the mat. The right hand makes its way towards the left knee. Breathing in and out, maintaining that symmetrical breath that we cultivated at the beginning of class. Softening into that left shoulder. For 3. For 2. For 1. If the right hand is over at the left knee, allow it to make its way back over in front of the right knee as you press into the earth, rising up once again, hands out to the sides, releasing the hands down to the mat. Begin to fold forward through your child's pose. Maybe extended, maybe traditional, maybe a variation of both. If your hands are at your sides, begin to walk them out overhead, grounding into the circumference of the palm, out through each knuckle to the fingertips, rolling forward onto the knees, tucking the toes, pressing through the balls of the feet as knees and hips rise up and back, coming back through down dog. Once again, rolling up onto the balls of the feet as we articulate the spine through to high plank. Pressing the earth away, the back of the heart rising to meet the sky. Finding that extension from the crown of the skull to the tip of the tailbone. Holding here for 3, for 2, for 1. Begin to soften down through chaturanga as slowly as you can. Allowing the chest and belly to come to rest on the mat. Untuck the toes, allowing the tops of the feet to come in contact with the earth. Third eye grounding into the mat. Hands centered under the shoulders. Begin to press up. Maybe through baby cobra. Maybe through cobra. Maybe extending the arms and coming up through up dog. Whatever back bend serves you this morning at this point in your practice. Being true to your body. As we open up the front of the body with our first back bend of the morning. Taking a minute here, allowing gravity to do its work. Rolling over the toes, rising hips up and back, through down dog. Grounding this time into the right foot. Begin to rise the left, up and back. Heel searching for its apex. Softening into the shoulders as they fall away from the ears. Allowing the elbows to rotate internally slightly. Pointing into the ball of the left foot. Knee comes forward, stepping between the palms. Left hand comes just inside the left foot as the right rises up and open. The right heel rotates down, grounding into the earth. Maybe allowing the gaze to rise to meet the lifted hand. As we open for side angle, maybe you rise up, elbow to knee, maybe hands to block. Finding whatever variation serves you this morning. Circling the arm around, reaching for the top of your mat. As the skin pulls over the ribs, sending the breath into the right side of the body, filling those intercostal spaces. Allowing the hands to rise once again, coming back down, framing the left foot, right heel rises, as we come to the ball of the right foot, grounding firmly into the palms of both hands, stepping up and back for your three-legged dog. Maybe the left foot stays lifted. Maybe it comes down to meet the right as you go through your flow. Through your back bend, baby cobra, Cobra or up dog. Rolling over the toes as the hips go up and back for downward dog. Grounding this time into the left foot as the right rises up and back. Heel searching for its apex. Maybe finding one more inch. Pointing into the ball of the right foot. Knee comes forward. Stepping through. Right hand comes to the inseam of the right leg. As the left heel rotates down, the chest opens to the left. Hand rising, fingers spread, radiating energy. Maybe allowing the gaze to rise to meet the lifted hand. Once again, maybe your variation comes to elbow to knee or hands to block. Whatever serves you this morning. Circling the arm through. Reaching for the top of the mat. As the skin pulls over the left ribs, sending your breath into the left side of the body as it fills the intercostal spaces, opening the side body. Maybe allowing the gaze to rise up underneath the belly of the bicep. For 2 and 1. Allowing that left hand to come down to the mat, reframing the foot with the hands. The left heel rises as you come up onto the ball of the left foot, strong and active in that left leg, grounding into the palms of the hands, stepping that right leg up and back through three-legged dog. Maybe it stays lifted, maybe it comes to meet the left as you go through your flow. Coming back through down dog. Landing the knees, untucking the toes, sitting back into child's pose. Maybe that's traditional, maybe it's extended. Whatever serves you here. Softening in with each exhalation, rising and expanding the chest with each inhalation. Returning to that breath that you cultivated at the beginning of class. For 3, for 2, for 1, begin to rise up, one vertebrae at a time. Stacking over sit bones over heels. As we rise up through Virasana. Crown of the skull centering over the tailbone, over the spine. Taking a moment here. Maybe closing down the eyes. Maybe returning to your intention this morning. Rolling forward on the knees, crossing at the ankles as we shift back and through with the hips. Go ahead and allow your sit bones to find the center of your mat. Stacking spine over sit bones. Extend the right leg, bringing the left leg in, allowing the pad of the foot to come to rest against the inner thigh of the right leg. As you stack and align the spine, squaring the shoulders with the front of the mat, in line with the front leg. Find that extension through the crown of the skull. Begin to forward fold over that front leg. Maybe that means hands to knee, to shin, to ankle, or toes. Whatever serves you this morning. Breathing in and out, softening in. Ebbing and flowing in and out of asana with the breath. Each inhalation allows the chest to rise slightly. Each exhalation allows us to find more space. For 3. For 2. For 1. Allow the hands to come down to frame the leg as you begin to roll up, one vertebrae at a time, stacking over the sit bones as you extend through the crown of the skull. Shifting your weight back towards the sacrum, allow the left leg to come across the right, foot grounding into the mat. Allow the left hand to come back just behind the left hip, finding that extension from the base of the spine through the crown of the skull. Rising the right hand up, allow that right elbow to come to meet the left knee as you begin to twist to the left, rotating about the axis of the spine. With each inhalation, unwinding slightly. With each exhalation, finding more space. If you're looking for a little bit more, you can begin to walk that left hand towards the right edge of the mat. As you further twist on the axis of the spine. Maybe allowing the gaze to come back over the left shoulder. For 3. For 2. And 1. Beginning to unwind. Allowing the left leg to extend as we bring the right pad of the foot into the thigh, the inner thigh of the left leg. Once again, squaring our shoulders with the front of the mat, in line with the extended leg. Find that extension through the spine, through the crown of the skull, as we begin to forward fold, maybe hands to knee, to shin, ankle, or toes. As we forward fold over that extended front leg, rising with each inhalation, softening, and finding more space with each exhalation. Finding where your body meets resistance. Finding that conversation there. For 3. For 2. For 1. Releasing the hands to the mat as you begin to roll up one vertebrae at a time, stacking over your sit bones. Crown of the skull rises and centers over the spine. Allow the right leg to cross over the left. Once again, foot grounding into the mat. Finding that extension through the spine as the right hand comes back behind the right hip. Left hand rises, crossing elbow and knee. Begin to twist about the axis of the spine. Opening to the right. If you're looking for a little bit more, maybe beginning to walk that right hand towards the left edge of the mat. Unwinding slightly with each inhalation, finding more space with each exhalation. Maybe allowing the gaze to come back over the right shoulder. For 4. For 3. For 2. And 1. Beginning to unwind as we come to face the mat, unwinding the legs, going ahead and bring the pads of the feet together, hands wrapping around the toes, maybe around the pinky blade edge of the foot, extending through the spine, through the crown of the skull. Allowing the knees to fall away towards the earth. Go ahead and bring the knees in. Together, creating a 90-degree angle. As the arms come forward, reaching to the front of the mat, fingers spread, radiating energy, straight and strong through the spine. As we shift back onto the sacrum, the legs begin to levitate, maybe keeping them bent at a 90, maybe rising to 45, or extending all the way up for the full expression of Navasana. Whatever variation you're in, holding here for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2. And 1. Softening down through Ardha Navasana. Shoulders off the mat, heels off the mat for 3. For 2. And 1. Releasing heels to the mat, allowing the head to come down in contact with the earth. Allowing your breath to fill the belly as you breathe in and out. Begin to walk the heels towards the glute. Grounding into the heel and the ball of the foot evenly. Allow the hands to come down by the heels. Palms down, fingers flat, reaching towards the toes. Pressing in evenly to the ball and heel. Begin to rise the hips up, tracing out a bridge. Maybe rising 1 inch further. For 3. For 2. And 1. Rising up onto the ball of the foot. Begin to articulate the spine down 1 vertebrae at a time. Down into the lumbar. Sit bones and sacrum come down last. Releasing heels back down to the mat. Extend the legs out, allowing them to find the corners of your mat. Go ahead and bring the left hand over the heart, the right hand over the low belly. Closing down the eyes. Returning to your breath. Returning to the intention that brought you to your mat this morning. Retreating from the present into your mind. With eyes closed. Retreating into yourself. Breathing in and out to your own natural cadence. Beginning to return to the present. Maybe wiggling fingers and toes, allowing that movement to rise into the wrists and ankles as they circle one way and then the other. Extending fingertip to toe tip on your back as you give yourself a full body good morning stretch. Turning to your right side, allowing the head to rest on the belly of the bicep. Coming into a fetal position, on your right side. Take a moment to be grateful for your body, for your practice, for your health. With your left hand, press into the mat as you rise up to a comfortable seated position. Allow the hands to come heart center. Bowing chin to chest. Taking a moment for yourself. Maybe taking a moment to recognize the need for compassion for others. Allow the thumbs to come to the third eye. I thank you for rising this morning and joining me in practice. From my heart to yours, namaste. Well, thanks for rising this morning for practice. As a reminder, once again, we have some more classes coming today. Streaming live on Facebook. We have classes at 9, 12:30, 4, and 6 p.m. Hopefully that services you. Be safe. Stay healthy. Thank you for joining.